Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, a little bit different today. Today I am bringing you guys along with me as I do some bookish things. So the first stop, I am currently at Half Price Books, and we're going to be dropping off all of the books that I have been unhauling. If you're new to my channel, I have been doing a series where I have been reading through and then trying to unhaul as much of my physical TBR as possible. So I have quite a few books that have just been sitting in my house, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to drop them off, do a little bit of book shopping, and I thought I'd bring you guys along with me. So I'm going to start with kind of a recap of the books that I have because, yeah, why not? So the first one is Stormwatch by CJ Box. I DNF'd that book. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Love that, but not going to read it again. Funny Story, Emily Henry. Family Remains, Lisa Jewell. Seabiscuit by Laura Hildenbrand. Also DNF'd. Lucy Foley, Paris Apartment. House of Gucci, Sarah Gay Forden. Cobble Hill, Cecily von Ziegel something. Lisa Jewell, Invisible Girl. Lucy Foley, Guest List. Personal Librarian by Marie Benedict. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. So many. Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I also have Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I feel like that's definitely blocking the camera. I'll move those. Cursed So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. Finley Donovan Knocks Them Dead by Elle Cosimano. Horse Whisperer by Nicholas Evans. Radium Girls by Kate Moore. Finley Donovan is Killing It. And Secretariat by William Knack. So just because I'm getting rid of these books doesn't mean I didn't love a lot of them. Some of these are 5 stars. I just don't want the physical copy, so I'm not going to reread it. Or if I am, I could just get it from my library or like on my Kindle. I have decided to get rid of them because I'm trying to free up shelf space and just kind of curate stuff on my shelves that is only like my favorite books. So yeah, let's go drop these off. Alright guys, I am back from Half Price Books. I sold all my books, which was great because sometimes they don't take them all, so it's nice they took them all and I'm free. And then I kind of had a bit of a potter around. I'm trying not to buy any books. I'm kind of on like a book buying ban because I'm really trying to curate my collection and make sure that everything on my shelves is something I love. But there are a few exceptions. I'm allowing myself to buy poetry and I'm allowing myself to buy like some classics and stuff. I'm going to get more today, but the Half Price Books location I went to is nowhere near as good as my usual one, so I did get a few things which I will show you. So I went in looking for some Courtney Peppernell poetry because I have one of her books and I really loved it. I did find 2 other poetry books which I'm really interested in. So the first is Flowers on the Moon by Billy Chapata. Love that name. It's a really pretty cover as well, but yeah, I'm excited to delve into that. I don't know what it's about. I just read like 3 poems, was like, yep, I'm into this. And then the other one is Inward by Young Pueblo. So I'm really excited for both of these. They seem really, interesting. It's kind of the style that I like, and it's nice to just have something to kind of flip through every day. I like to read a couple every day. And then I got a really pretty copy of Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I'm trying to read more classics this year, specifically Jane Austen. I've only ever read Emma, and that was like when I was a kid, so I have been trying to kind of slowly start getting into that, and I was trying not to buy them until I had read them and like knew that I liked them, but this was such a pretty edition. It was like $2, so very happy with that. It also has like, the ruffled edges. So I got this, The Road Between by Courtney Peppernell. This is not the Courtney Peppernell I wanted to get. They did have a pretty big selection of her books, including the one that I wanted, but that one was battered into next week. It looked like it had been kicked down a flight of stairs, and it was the same price. So sometimes Half Price Books gets a bit expensive and they don't take condition into account appropriately in my eyes, but I got that. I flicked through it. It looks really interesting, and I'm wanting to kind of collect all of her work. And then I also picked up Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur, if that's how you say that. This has been on my TBR as well, and they had a couple of their works, and I just was flick through this one and it sounded really interesting. I didn't realize it was illustrated though, and some of the illustrations are interesting, but I'm excited about that. And then I also went to Barnes & Noble because it was like right next door, and look at this. It is stunning. So they had a couple more of them, but they were also like battered to fuck. So I have to run another errand, which is right next to another Barnes & Noble, my usual one. So I'm just going to go to that instead. This one is so grim. It's like so dark. And the other one that I go to is like really nice and big and has like beautiful windows. So I think that'll be more fun. But this is stunning. It's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, if you couldn't tell. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. They have these really beautiful editions at Barnes & Noble. So I picked that up. So yes, it's just been a poetry and Jane Austen day by the looks of it. Alright guys, I am back. I went to my usual Barnes & Noble and we scored! Well, kind of. Got 2 books. One of them is one that I was allowed to get. Persuasion, which matches the Pride and Prejudice one I showed you guys, which is stunning. Very, very pretty. However, I also got the Alice in Wonderland. It's just so pretty, and this one is like I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of like indented. It's so pretty. I shouldn't have got this, but I did. I was going to get Sense and Sensibility and Emma, but they didn't have Sense and Sensibility. And then I did have Emma, and it was really pretty, but I was opening it and flicking through it, and the back binding, this bit, like the backing just came away from the book. So I was kind of like, I think I'll leave it for today, seeing as I'm going to have to come back to get the other one anyway. I don't know if it's anyone else or it's just me, but I'm so particular about my books. Like, I understand this is a character flaw, it's a red flag of mine, but I am like meticulous. I check all of the copies. I want to find the one that looks the nicest, is the least like bashed up, or I'm happy with like the cheapest, like trashiest looking secondhand book with annotations in it. But it's one or the other, it's no in between. But I am very happy with these, and they're very pretty. They look so nice together. Yeah, overall it's been a fun day dropping off books, getting new books, more than I should have. I apologize to you guys because this is just like jumping from clip to clip of me in my car, but I am not a confident enough or big enough YouTuber yet to be doing like bookstore vlogging. That's just too much. I shot some B-roll, but it's a Saturday, it's so busy, I could not be doing that. So I apologize to my loyal subscribers and viewers, but yeah, I'm sorry, not happening yet. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna go home now, but definitely not the end of this vlog, just the end of like what I'm filming today. I'm gonna do more bookish things, and as I do them, I'll add them to this vlog, so you guys can join me for that too. So see you guys later. Bye bye. Hi team, I'm coming to you live. Recorded. It's Fallon from the car again. This is a completely different day, but I had an appointment and I realised there's a Barnes & Noble across the street. So we are continuing my quest for these very special editions of Jane Austen. I feel like that's going to be the title of this video, is just my quest for these special edition books. So we're going to go in. I'm going to hopefully find them. Obviously that's the goal. But yes, I will keep you guys posted. We were successful! Yay. Finally. It's been like mildly bothering me because it makes my shelves look uneven, I feel like. I don't know why I'm talking to the mic while I'm doing that. So I found Sense and Sensibility, which I love this colour, it's such a pretty green, and Emma. Honestly, a little bit of washed out purple. I feel like we could have done a better purple, but I'm not mad about it. I'm very happy to have the stack of them. These two are kind of like the worst together, but so excited to put them on my shelves, and so glad we finally found them so that my quest for Jane Austen novels is over. Hi team, it's a new day. I am just popping in to add another little segment to this vlog. I'm actually in the middle of filming a bunch of videos right now, so it's a nice little breather for me to just kind of yap at the camera for a bit without actually having to think about what I'm saying, which sounds terrible, but I promise it's still good content. Anyway, I thought I would kind of go through a little consolidated book haul, which you would have seen if you're watching this video. I don't really know why I'm doing this in the same video, but we're going to do it anyway. There are some books you guys haven't seen, so there you go. So the first little stack is the stuff that you guys saw, which is the poetry I got. So Flowers on the Moon by Billy Chapata, The Road Between by Courtney Pepernell, Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur, and Revise and Expand is what it says at the top, Inward by Young Pueblo. So those are my little poetry books. Very excited about this. I bought Never. I got this on Amazon for like $2. They were having a crazy sale. This is one of Jessa Hastings. It's her first series, I think, since Magnolia Parks. If you guys haven't read Magnolia Parks, you need to. It's one of my favorite series. It's like an English gossip girl, and it's just so much fun. I love that series. So instead of finishing that series, Jessa is just being naughty and writing new series. She's wrote this one, which I think is also going to be a series. She wrote another book called... it's like the Book of Will or something, which is like a fantasy romance, I think. And then she just announced that she's releasing a new one, which is very like Oasis looking, which I'm very excited about because I love Oasis. So I do think that's going to be interesting. But I still haven't read any of her new books. So I'm going to start with this one because it was $3 or $2. It's a Peter Pan retelling. Yeah, I'm excited to delve into that. We know I love a good retelling. And then the next one I got was Crescent City 3. This was also on sale and I had an Amazon gift card. So I was like, okay, we'll get that. So now my Crescent City little set is complete for now. You can just ignore that all the books are falling over. Stuff needs to go back. And then the last one I got, I found this, my local coffee shop has a little like leave a book, grab a book section, and they had this really pretty edition of Piranesi. I had no interest in reading this really. I've seen it like occasionally, but it's such a pretty book, and I've been kind of getting into not reading the blurbs of things, and so I just randomly picked this up, and it is honestly one of my new favorite books. I absolutely adore this book. I read it, I want to say 2 weeks ago, and I finished it, and like 3 days later I'm like, I need to reread it. So I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but it says modern classic on the front, and I would describe it as that. So just pick it up and read it. It's so good. And then I have those Jane Austen's ones that you guys saw me get, and that Alice in Wonderland book. But yeah, I think that's kind of all I wanted to go through. I'm really happy that I got to do the unhaul earlier in this video. I don't know if there'll be more to this video, how long I'll keep this going for, but I was very happy to kind of get rid of that stuff because I reorganized my shelves. I'm so happy with them now. There's still some bits and bobs that I need to, like a couple books I'm missing. I want to get the rest of the Magnolia Park series, but they're specific editions and that's a lot of work to get those. So that's like a ways off. I don't need those. Same with like I need the first Harry Potter, which I'm still on the hunt for, and the third one. I'm saying the word need a lot. It's not at all a need. And then recently I've been kind of wanting S by J.J. Abrams, which I read last year. I did like a reading vlog for that as well, which I'll put somewhere, but I really enjoyed that. And weirdly, Piranesi, when I read that, made me want to revisit S. So that was a strange little connection. But yeah, I've been doing really well with getting rid of books, being pretty ruthless. And I'm quite proud of myself with that because I used to really want to buy lots and lots of books, and I've been good at not buying random books that I see out and about. It is kind of difficult for me though, because some of my favorite books, like Piranesi, Finlay Donovan's a great example of a book I just randomly picked up one day at a bookstore and read the back, thought it was interesting and bought it. And that kind of stuff is a little unfortunate because I'm missing out on that. But with the price of books these days and the likelihood that I'm not going to enjoy them, I just can't risk that anymore, which is a little bit sad. But I'm kind of trying to find that joy of discovering random new books from my library or online and then getting it from my library, which I do think is similar, but not quite the same magic. I think I'm kind of allowing myself to buy secondhand books, like, you know, cheap library secondhand books. That's fine, but I just can't like get this extensive collection. And as well, I love seeing all my collection that are books I've read and loved. I really enjoy that. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. I also kind of get the same thing with audiobooks where I'm trying to read less audiobooks because I know that I don't comprehend them the same way. Like I never enjoy audiobooks as much as I enjoy, not regular books, but like reading a book physically, and I don't process it as well. But any book that I'm kind of on the fence about reading, I will read as an audiobook, but I tend not to enjoy audiobooks as much. So it's a little bit silly of me as like an oxymoron, but you know, that's how it goes, I suppose. I'm not sure when I will see you guys again, but if I do, hi. And if I don't, then thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this new format, and if you did, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll do some more. Bye!